Hi folks, Mavis Ureki here. I am talking about emotions, and I'm particularly speaking about those emotions that could potentially block your success or your growth if unmanaged, right? I'm particularly speaking about those emotions. And now I want to talk about fear. Fear can either paralyze you, right? Fear can make you feel like you can't move forward. It can block you from moving forward or getting to the next phase of your life or taking the next action because you're feeling the fear. Now, fear can either be situational or perpetual, right? Situational fear is when somebody walks into your room or into your surrounding, maybe with a gun, for example, is an example. You have no choice except to fear, right? Because someone is threatening your life. But when you have perpetual fear, when you're feeling afraid most of the time, it is a story, it is the imagination, it is a cognitive error. You are telling yourself stories of what could potentially go wrong, what could potentially go wrong in your life. So how do you manage fear so that it doesn't paralyze you, or it doesn't block your success, or it doesn't stop you from taking the necessary action you need to take to get to the next level of your life, or even to live out your own potential, right? So the first step in managing fear is ask yourself, what is at risk? What is at risk? And then the second question you want to ask yourself, is it really at risk, right? So when we are talking to ourselves and telling ourselves stories, right? When we're saying this could potentially happen, what if that happened? What if that happened? That thing is not yet at risk. It's a story we are telling. So you need to ask yourself, is it really at risk, right? And often if it is perpetual fear, the issue or your life is not a threat. It's not threatened at all, right? So what do you then want to do when you realize that it is not at risk, right? What if you start thinking about the things that are opposite your fear, the potential place, the potential things you could possibly achieve? Somebody once said, you can either put fear in front of you or can put it behind you. When you put it behind you, it becomes fuel, it becomes energy. What are those things that if you don't act today and take action today, you might not achieve, you might not get, or even the very thing that you fear, if you actually don't take action today, it might actually end up happening. So put fear behind you so that it becomes fuel, and also learn to think about the opposite. So if you say, what if I fail? What if you succeed, right? Think about the opposite. What is the opposite of the fear? What is the opposite of your cognitive thinking that says, what if this happened? What if that happens? So what is the opposite? And the moment you realize or you become aware of the opposite, can you start setting goals towards that opposite? So you begin to focus and you begin to take action, and that allows you to also action sort of removes fear. Action removes fear, but also information takes away fear, right? So learn about the very thing that you're afraid of. Somebody says, I'm afraid because in my family we've got a history of mental health. I'm afraid of getting ill. And I said, why don't you get more information about mental health, right? Get more information, because awareness heals. When you are aware, you can take the necessary action to avoid the very thing that you fear. Thank you for listening.